mother played it. I used to think them pictures come alive and walk through the house.
You've called this a love letter to your ancestors, which is a really beautiful sentiment, especially once you've seen the film. Can you expand on that a little bit and talk about how this story honors them?
You know, sometimes when you're just in the day-to-day of your life and you have problems that come up and things that happen and you get kind of stuck in this moment where you think you can either feel like you're by yourself or you know that it's just you only have access to the things that are directly in front of you. Um, but in the process of making this, I was feeling like that. In the process of making this movie, I realized that there was a whole community of people that came before me that sacrificed so much, that fought so much, and made sometimes declarative actions of who they were and their identity and what they stood on that made my life and the lives of my family possible. So in making this film, it was the same idea. It's like this is a film about a haunting, about a ghost story, about how these actions of people before you influence the life that you live today. And so in making the film, I wanted to reflect that relationship that I've had, that discovery I've had with my ancestors. And it's mirrored with Bernice's, where and Bernice and Boy Willie they're at odds with each other and they're being haunted by this ghost and they're running from their destiny in a lot of ways. But in the end, they submit to it. And that connection to the ancestors becomes palpable and real. And these people that you don't see, that aren't physically present with you, are actually there supporting you and holding you up. And there's so much beauty in that, and power and peace and protection in that. So that was a journey that I went through in making this film, and it's reflected in the themes of the film as well.
And such a beautiful link forming between the works of August Wilson and the whole Washington family. I mean, how special has this been to work on with your father, with your brother, I believe with some other family members, and, you know, after, you know, John David had done Broadway and your dad had previously made Fences and produced Ma Rainey.
Yeah, you know, it's really exciting to be able to make something meaningful with people. Oh,
Sorry. He tries to get in the shot.
I love it. I love it. I'm sorry. It's really exciting to make something meaningful with people that you care about. And this is a film that's made by a community. Obviously, you know my dad and my brother, but there's a lot of other hands and stories that are tied to it. A lot of other families that legacies are tied to this. And we honor them, you know. And anytime you're working from that space of trying to uphold something larger than yourself, I think that you bring a certain kind of dedication and commitment to it. And the community that we made this with brought all of themselves to it.
Did Danielle say there were 6 people in your family that worked on this? Is that true?
Well, my immediate family, there's 6 people. There's there's me and my 3 siblings and both my parents, and everybody is represented in the film in some way. Their face or their voice is used in some way. So there's a lot.
I love that. Yeah, and you know, I think one thing that you hinted, you touched on this earlier, but like one thing that distinguishes Piano Lesson from Wilson works like Fences and Ma Rainey is its supernatural and spiritual elements. I mean, you know, it's not the Sixth Sense, but it has those aspects. Obviously, how challenging was it to incorporate those elements and still keep the film as grounded as it feels?
Well, that's kind of the balance, right? And that's what you're here to do as a filmmaker is find the balance. But I think I really wanted to make something that was exciting, that was thrilling, that could get you to sit at the edge of your chair, you know, to deliver on the promise that is the cinema. I've had so many transformative and exciting moments in the theater as a fan, and I wanted to try to offer something back to fans now with my film, to make something that is a movie, you know, and is with that kind of excitement and stress and tension and joy and laughter, that complete experience. I wanted to try to give that back to the community.